John, up for re-election. A lot of people obviously see you as a council leader, but week in, week out, what is your job as a local ward councillor?
Job of ward councillor is representing the people that live in Grays Riverside, and that's actually the bit of the job, the bit of the role that I enjoy the most of all. So along with Martin Healy, Val Morris Cook, we hold 3 surgeries a month on Saturday mornings, one here on Seabrook Rise, one at the Thameside complex in the middle of Grays, one at St Thomas Church on the edge of the ward. It's those opportunities for people to come and tell us what their concerns are, tell us what their issues are, tell us those problems they're having with the council, and give us the opportunity to resolve those issues.
And over the 4 years, or even in the last month or so, what are the key issues that time and time again come to your surgeries?
It's interesting, you do get patterns. At surgeries, it's largely housing. We've had a lot of stuff, of course, about the Morrison's repair contract that we're doing our best to put right. We're also picking up more and more parking type issues. Grays wasn't designed for cars, tight streets, insufficient places for people to park. A lot of the ward covered by a resident parking scheme where people actually have to go and pay £22 a year for the privilege of parking in those streets. Doesn't guarantee them a parking space. People do feel resentful about that. That's something that we've got to look at, and it's not something that we will scrap. We'll scrap that fee as a result of those people coming to see us. The other issue that's coming up locally are those issues of crime and grime, the type of thing you get time and again. People aren't happy with the level of policing in Grays Town Centre. There are stories of too much drinking in the town centre once again, people selling drugs quite openly in the town centre. The job of the councillor then is to speak to the local police, as I have, to raise that as an issue and get assurances from the police that they'll come and they'll up their presence there and do something to tackle it.
Do you feel that's lip service from the police?
No, I don't. I think they are committed to doing it. As you know, Michael, what the Chief Constable has said is that the £42 million cut to Essex Policing's budget is the greatest challenge Essex Policing has ever had during peacetime. That makes resources more difficult, makes resources more stretched, so there is a real challenge there for them. Not lip service, but it's going to be more difficult for them now than it would have been 2 years ago.
The electoral statistics show that over a few years ago that Labour perhaps took Grays Thurrock, Grays Riverside and other areas for granted. You no longer do that, do you?
Well, that's when did you stop beating your wife type question, isn't it? I've never taken Grays Riverside for granted. I've been a councillor first in Grays Town and then from 1997 in Grays Riverside, and it is an absolute privilege to represent the community that you grew up in, to be representing the people that you went to school with, people whose kids go to school with your kids. Never taken it for granted. Always held regular advice surgeries. Always been open and accessible to people. Taking it for granted just isn't the case.
You mentioned education there. There's a feeling amongst the schools, some of the schools in your ward and just near to your ward, that they're slipping behind, falling off the back of the pack of the other schools in Thurrock. How are you tackling that? Is that fair, and are you tackling that?
Well, if you look across the piece, certainly at Key Stage 2 primary schools, 2-3 years ago, just amongst the worst in the country, now just about at the median. If you look at secondary schools, as far as 5 good GCSEs now, we are above average, but it's still not good enough. There is still an awful lot of work to be done. That's why in the budget this year the council put another £500,000 in to put tailored packages of support into those schools who, as you say, are in danger of dropping off the pace, of dropping behind. You've got to put the resources into the schools at the time they need it, and that's what we're determined to do. But Michael, I think the schools point you raise is absolutely critical, and don't forget that I'm a father of 3 kids in Grays that attend 3 different schools, as it happens, in Grays. So of course I'm determined that the schools in the patch give the best quality of education to those children, because they're my children as well.
This interview is strictly about you as a local ward councillor, but just the final question will be as leader of the council and of the election campaign. This is a really important election campaign for Labour, isn't it? We have seen Ed Miliband, Ed Balls, Toby Perkins, Shadow Business Secretary, walking around as we speak. It's really important for you, isn't it?
It's important to us, but it's important for the future of Thurrock. And I just ask people to remember what this council was like 3 years ago, when the Conservatives overspent the budget by £4 million. During the year they'd already taken £2 million out of our reserves. That's overspending by £500,000 a month. When we took control of the council's reserves were down to £1.3 million. You know, that is ridiculously low. What we've managed to do is to freeze council tax for 2 years in succession, at a time when the government has cut our funding by something like 28%. We've managed to rebuild the reserves up to a level of £8 million. We've righted the ship. And I say to people, you have to think very, very carefully before you entrust Thurrock Conservatives with running Thurrock Council.